What is going on in this video?
It's his box, and he's going to try and defend it from the human apes rushing for their trains. First, he's going to use a soft and high tone of voice. Let's see if anyone obeys his orders.
Get out of my box! Get out of my box! Get out of my box! Get out of my box!
No one could be less interested in our chimp's demand.
Get out of my box! Get out of my box!
He can't stop anyone invading his territory.
Get out of my box! Where's my box?
Now he's going to adopt an alpha chimp's voice. Low in tone and loud in volume. But will anyone really take notice?
Get out of my box! Get out of my box! Get out of my box!
Suddenly, everyone is going out of their way to avoid trespassing on the alpha chimp's territory.
Get out of my box! Get out of my box!
No one stops to think why. They're just instinctively doing what he says.
This is a perfect example of something that I like to call psychosocial fields. So, originally, the guy has this box, this territory that he's trying to defend, and he has a very weak psychosocial field. His voice is very faint. His physical posture isn't imposing. His eye contact is not confident, and nobody listens to him. They walk right through the box. When he changes that and he gets louder, his voice gets deeper, he starts to be more physically present and solid, eye contact shifts, whole different story. And this is a really good example of what a psychosocial field really is. It's essentially the sovereign territory that is within your domain, the area that you control. And this is something that is so powerful because it is so ingrained in our animal being. We are territorial creatures at our base. And the area, the territory, which we feel is ours, which feels like home to us, that we control, that we feel comfortable in, that we feel we can let loose in, that is, when we're in that space, we feel empowered. We feel like we can laugh loud, we can talk loud, we can think big thoughts and have just this freedom and this liberty that we don't feel in other places. Now, there's one interesting part of the video that I want to point to, because it has a secret in it about how to really embody this, expand your field, expand your territory and your domain everywhere. And it's the part where one of the passerbys, when he's saying like, get out of my box, in a very weak way, one of the guys says, there is no box, and walks right through it. And that's, like the scene in The Matrix, with the spoon, there is no spoon. In terms of psychosocial fields, it is true. When it comes down to the territory that we hold around ourselves, or that other people hold around them, in a sense, they're illusory. They're not really there. And so, while most people try to expand their psychosocial field by getting a bigger, position at work, having more money, being muscular and big and imposing, doing all these things to gain power so that they can expand their psychosocial field. And this does work. This is a way to to expand your field, absolutely. But there is a shortcut, there is a trick to skip all of that. And the trick is to dissolve the boundaries of your field. If you imagine, for example, that you are within a sphere, that your field is a sphere around you, and if that sphere's boundary, this kind of thin membrane, dissolves, the field expands infinitely in all directions in an instant. And when you do that, when your field is no longer just around you or just around the things you control and have influence over, but expands to the ends of the universe, you are suddenly sovereign of the universe. And who is sovereign of the universe? That's right. God. This is the trick. This is how you become God. And a lot of people at this point will go, hey, wait. No. What are you talking about? You're still just a regular person. Yeah, but at the same time, you've removed, essentially, all limits on yourself. You feel yourself. Remember, your sovereign territory, your sovereign field, your psychosocial field, is the area in which you feel at home. Imagine feeling at home in the universe. Anywhere you go, any room you enter, any country you visit, any planet. If you have eliminated the boundaries on your field and expanded it everywhere, you will always feel at home in this world. Now, some people have have a few questions that might come up for them around this. First and foremost, how does that work with other people? If I eliminate, if I relax the boundaries of my psychosocial field, extend it to the ends of the universe, doesn't that impinge on other people's? Well, the answer is no, it doesn't. Because, like the man that said, there is no box. There is no competition for the role of sovereign of the universe. We are all, at every moment, participating in the universal sovereignty of existence, where every single creature, every single part of the universe is just as important, is just as sovereign as any other. This is our home. This is the place that we live. Not just one of us, not just some of us, but all of us. And so, there can be as many sovereigns as we want. In fact, really in the Enlightenment tradition, that's what the whole point is. It's to realize and recognize that each and every one of us has no limits. Each and every one of us is the Big Bang unfurling itself. That we are the waves on top of the ocean, and every wave is indistinguishable, indivisible from the ocean itself. So, a lot of people have a reaction to this notion of increasing their power, increasing their sovereignty, in the sense that they shrink from it. They say that's That's not right. That's that feels wrong for some reason. Or feels rather not wrong, but scary. Because we've been told to keep out of the boxes of other people ever since we were little kids. Our parents, our teachers, other children on the playground. This is mine. Don't touch it. Don't go into my box. We create these boundaries to give ourselves a sense of importance, a sense of control. And we put one another down. We limit other people's boxes so that we feel like we have a more secure or a larger box ourselves. But in reality, there is no box. All of us are free, totally and completely. And that is the essence of liberation. You are liberated from the illusion that you are somehow confined in what you say, in what you think, in how you act. You are not confined in any way. And here another big reaction might come up. What do you mean we're not confined in any way? We can't just do anything, right? Like, well, yeah. I can't jump to the moon right now, right? There are, physical aspects of the universe that I can't just violate. But what I mean here, what I'm talking about here, is in the psychosocial realm. We are absolutely free. I can think anything I want right now. I can say anything I want. I can do anything that I want in my power. That's reasonable in the laws of this universe. I am not confined by the human laws and the human etiquette and the human constraints, because those are the box, and the box doesn't exist. And so another reaction that people might have here is, well, does that mean that you're saying you can do anything you want? Well, that sounds like you're just gonna be an asshole, for lack of better words. You'll probably, that's how. If I do that, what's stopping someone from going and starting a cult and proclaiming themselves presidents of the world and starting a new religion and doing terrible things? That's a really good question. Because in the spiritual journey and in the spiritual path, people that discover this phenomenon that we're talking about now, whether consciously or unconsciously, usually in a less conscious way, they may end up going ahead and start doing whatever they want. And they may end up hurting a lot of people. They may end up doing things that are like starting cults, like starting new religions, destructive institutions, wars, and doing everything for their own cosmic pleasure. Now, in a sense, this isn't against any kind of universal laws. You can do this. You are free to do this. In fact, many people throughout history have done this. But the way to handle this liberation and this absolute freedom with real wisdom and groundedness is to base your practice on love. And it may sound simple and it may sound obvious, but it is the thing that mystics, that the religious saints and tzaddiks and adepts, they keep coming back to this because it is fundamentally the most important thing that we need to make as the seed, as the base of our entire spiritual work. Because when love is the center and the core of everything that you do, then when you finally get that liberation and the boundaries of your sovereign field extend to the ends of the universe, while you can do anything that you want, what you would want to do is all based in love. What you would want to do naturally with your freedom is to help other sentient beings. That is how you attain a stable and loving awakening that is beneficial to the whole universe, to the whole cosmos, and not just for yourself. You can discover this quality of liberation, and you can use it just for yourself. And you can become a really powerful manifester. You can manifest riches, you can manifest power, you can manifest influence in all sorts of ways. But if all you do is not based fundamentally in love, then you're riding your own wave. You're having a grand old cosmic joke of a time. And, there's nothing fundamentally wrong with that. But it is not when you are not in alignment with love. Then eventually you feel yourself lost in the universe. That on the grandest of scales, you can have all the riches, all the power, all the influence, all the joy of growing and growing and growing and growing. But it will never be enough. And love is the thing that gives us enough. So that's my take on this funny little psychological experiment. If you have questions about psychosocial fields, or your sovereign field, as another way to call it, put them in the comments. I will love to answer them. And if anybody is looking for help in how to actually do this, how to expand your sovereign field further than just your body or your room or your friend circle, but to really expand it outward to the entire universe potentially, send me a message. Go to my website linked in the description. It takes work. I'm going to be honest. It is not. You can do this on your own, but it really helps to have somebody guide you through this work and guide you to a place where you can start to expand your mind, expand your consciousness in a way that is healthy, in a way that doesn't lead to traps or kind of a sense of your ego taking over and using it for your own purposes. So go ahead, put your questions in the comments, and if you want to find out more, find my website in the description. I will see you in the next video.